Since everybody's here, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to Planning and Zoning meeting of March the 19th, 2024. Roll call. Everyone is either here in person or remotely. Nate, are you on?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the agenda. We will need at this time to approve. As everybody looked at the agenda, we'll need to make a motion to improve the agenda.
So moved.
So a move and a second that we approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
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 Agenda is approved. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meeting? Any questions or deletions or? Okay, then entertain a motion to accept the minutes. Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Minutes are approved. Report from Mr. Code Officer.
I have nothing to report to the Planning Commission this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Old business. We have to finish an old business which was tabled last time, a site development for a dog kennel on North Broad Street. We have had the discussion, and at this time, I will open the public hearings just to see if there were any more questions to the owners. Anybody have any questions?
For us? I have some questions for them.
Okay. Could you maybe come up and maybe answer some more questions?
Hello. Hey. So I had a quick question, because I see around the kennels out in the back, you have a 7-foot fence. Are you going to also have a fence around the complete perimeter?
No, the complete, like around the entire building itself?
No, your whole entire property.
Hadn't planned on it, no. It's basically just an outer fence around the outside dog yard areas. It's like a privacy fence.
Okay.
So people can't see the dogs and dogs can't see out. You know, hopefully it'll be a barrier for some dogs as well.
And then what type of barrier are you putting in? Like kind of shrubbery? How tall are the shrubbery?
We haven't really determined that as of yet for the COA, but well, I'm thinking, you know, those trees over by, where do we work out? What do you call that?
Like
It's over by
evergreens?
a Mises.
Okay.
You know those like trees that,
Those are
big.
Leland cypress.
I don't know what those are
Yeah.
called, but
Yeah, the
I would imagine we will plant some like, I mean, obviously we're not gonna plant them that big initially, but, you know, big enough to where they'll grow pretty quickly. Maybe that'll be some kind of a barrier as well.
Okay. How, do you know how far you're like spacing them out on the property?
Probably far enough to where they got room to grow, but still kind of, you know, or grow close together.
Okay. And is that all you're putting on, or will you have like medium and small sized shrubbery?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna professionally landscape it. We're gonna go with the recommendations of a landscaper as well. So, yeah, I mean, we'll have sod in the front, we'll have bushes and shrubs and flowers and trees. That would, you know, be appropriate for the COA, whatever's appropriate for the corridor. You know, things like that.
And what's the capacity of dogs you'll have there?
Well, I know, I mentioned last time, you know, up to about 80 dogs, but that's probably never gonna happen. Like, our kennel right now at Snellville, the overnight capacity, well, not capacity, but the overnight business we're having right now is like 10 to 11 dogs a night. So unless it's in like a holiday season, spring break, things like that, that's when you possibly might get to full capacity. But even like our Snellville location, we hardly ever get more than about 45, 50 dogs a night, even during holidays. So though, you know, the potential is there for that amount of dogs, more than likely, we'll never see full capacity.
Any other questions? Good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
And since we have opened the public hearings, I would ask if there was anyone present here to speak in opposition to this request. Seeing none, we will close the public hearings, and I will entertain a motion because we'll need a new motion.
I will motion to approve as presented.
All right, there's a motion to approve
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor, say yes.
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 All opposed, say no.
No.
There's 2 yeses and 2 nos, so I will vote a yes, so the motion is approved. The request is approved. You're welcome. Under new business, we have a request for a preliminary plat approval at Madison Ridge subdivision, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Code Officer.
This is a preliminary plat request for the property on James Hope Road. Proposed as the development name is Madison Ridge. It will be a single-family detached residential development, predominantly all the single-family lots. They do have an amenity lot proposed there, kind of near the entrance of the development. Minimum lot size per condition of zoning approval was 10,000 square feet. Minimum dwelling size 1,500 square feet throughout, as their pattern book was approved. They have the 2 project entrances, the one off James Huff Road and the one off of Old Athens Highway, which complies with your development regulations for the number of access points required for the subdivision. It's essentially the same concept plan approved in their pattern book with a few tweaks that were complying with the conditions from zoning approval. The recommendation is approval as submitted. The preliminary plat does not require correction.
Thank you. Is there someone present to speak for this request?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning Commission. I'm Taylor Anderson with Blue Landworks. We're the design engineer and surveyors for the property. We are here asking for your approval of our preliminary plat and here to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions? I was a little concerned about when this happens and also when the bypass gets completed. How much of a problem is that traffic going to be at the big intersection, 78?
The south leg of the bypass and its intersection there with 78. I don't know how it certainly should not impact this development, but speaking in general, I mean, that will be programmed by GDOT to, you know, the timing of the signals there. It's a fully signalized 4-lane road there, coming from both Unicia as you enter into 78 there. So I would imagine that, I mean, there will be increased volume of traffic, obviously, because it's bypassing the city, predominantly with truck traffic. When it comes to this development specifically, I don't think there will be an impact from the traffic created by this development to that intersection. It's pretty light there as it is now. The James Huff Road traffic's very light coming down to the intersection.
Okay.
I would imagine signal timing is just going to have to be adjusted by GDOT.
Do you get word when there is trouble with the signals?
I would never know about trouble with the signals but those are controlled by GDOT.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some level of coordination with the city, like when it comes to Jeremiah still, or maybe even the police department when it's causing an issue, so they're aware of it when it happens, so they can go out there and run traffic. But I don't know how that's coordinated internally with us.
'Cause I've been out at that light trying to make a turn on 278, and I've had to call the sheriff's department several times to let them know the light was not changing.
Not changing, or was it blinking inactive?
Nope. It was on red and stayed on red. The most I sat there, I think, was through 11 revolutions of all of the other lights changing.
I might have driven through that light.
I called him and told him I was getting ready to do it. And I did.
And I know those are sensor-activated lights, so, I mean, I don't know what to say. Those, they do have the sensitivity sensors that are buried in the pavement. So they're supposed to be activated when cars do pull up, and when there's a long duration inactivity, they stay green, like for the main travelway of 78, to the best of my knowledge.
It's unrelated to this, but if that happens to you, that's usually because the wires in the pavement have been damaged.
Yeah.
It may have been recently hit by a rock or something else. If that happens, Georgia DOT does have a service request option on their website where you can submit an issue, but
Is it 711 is on the box? It's usually, you can see
Yeah.
usually on the box on the side of the road by the pole, they have a number to call when that signal's causing
I
an issue.
believe it's 511.
511, yeah.
I believe it's 511. But yeah, not that I condone running lights, but I think I would have
I
agree
did
with
a
Mr.
total
Callender.
notice, though. I called him, had to give him my tag number, my car color, and all. But I did it,
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
and I had to do it.
Yeah, I don't condone breaking the law, but my patience would have thinned out after the third cycle.
Yeah, mine too. Probably long before she did it. Yeah.
I'm a patient person.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would ask at this time if there was anyone present to speak in opposition to this request. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All in favor say yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Motion is, request is approved. Oh, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Say yes. Okay.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.